I'm back.
Let's make something new right now. We can be friends and get this going. Come on, let's make something new right now. Come on, come on, come on. Come on, come on, come on.
Well, welcome back to Let's Create with Alex Blake. I'm your host, Alex Blake, and today, Zach is on the pod.
I'm back.
Yeah. Honestly, when was the last time you were on the podcast?
It's been a long time.
It's been a long time.
been a minute.
We're still married. He still exists.
I've just been in the background,
Yeah.
hanging out.
He's just been posting all of these podcasts for me, honestly.
That's really it. That's all I've
Yeah.
been doing.
Yeah, that's,
Plus, that's
your
it.
whole life.
That's my whole life. Nothing else is happening.
No. Well, today I wanted Zach to come on the podcast and hang out with me. Honestly, I was going to do a solo episode and I just woke up like not really wanting to. I was like, I would rather do like a photo camp recap, which is what this episode's about to be about, with someone. And I was like, Zach, will you rearrange your whole day and come on the podcast with me? And he said,
And
yes.
I did. I rearranged everything.
Everything just to be
Yeah.
on the podcast with us. So
I did reschedule a lunch for tomorrow.
to be on the podcast,
Yes,
did you?
100%.
Thanks.
I got you. I got
Yeah.
you.
But I'm excited because I love it when Zach gets to be on the podcast. To me, it just feels like bringing everyone into like even more of my life, which is kind of fun, you know, because obviously like we're the best married people ever.
The best of all time.
Of all time. No, I'm totally kidding. But I do love Zach. He's the best husband ever. So getting to share him with you guys is always really fun. Okay, honestly, we have like semi of an outline, but really, it really is just us talking about photo camp. So before we
That's
talk
it.
about photo camp, is there anything you want to update everyone on in your life?
What's been happening in my life?
That was such an extended, like,
I don't know how that's going to sound. I'll edit and post.
no, it's going to sound terrible.
What has been happening since the last time? I mean, stuff is kind of the same, but
Yeah.
also not at
Yeah.
the same time. The church stuff is still going strong.
Going strong.
Going
yeah.
strong. I've kind of been between Charleston and Atlanta a ton recently, it
True.
feels like. So once a month I go back anyway, and then recently it's been a lot. So.
Wait, actually, that was crazy because when we first like booked the rental for this March photo camp, we didn't know that Zach was going to be going back to Atlanta once a month for his job stuff.
True.
And so I booked it the same week that he had to go to Atlanta, but we didn't know it yet.
That's actually the same thing that happened the one before too.
I know, but when we had the one before, I had already booked the March one. Like I already knew that I was going to do it. So that was crazy because it meant that you were going to Georgia. And then by the time you came back Wednesday and everything started Thursday. But like all the speakers, our friends were here
Yeah.
already. We were already in the house that
was
night.
such a long
Yeah,
week for
it
me.
was crazy.
I literally, it was like Sunday, I had church, and then I drove to Atlanta, and then I was there, and I had like meeting after meeting after meeting
Yeah.
there. And Wednesday, I had a meeting that morning, immediately got in my car and drove straight here.
Yeah. And then I had a bunch of stuff. I was like, Zach, I need you to print all of this stuff out before
Yeah.
coming.
So I had to do that, return my rental,
Yeah.
and
I forgot
then
about that.
head straight to
And
photo
straight
camp.
into photo camp. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Wednesday
I
night we
jumped
did like
right in.
a big dinner for the speakers and like all of my team that was like helping me and everything. So Zach literally came straight to that. It was crazy.
Yeah. No, it was fun though. It was
Yeah.
a good time.
So really your life is the same, but also I feel like your life is like picked up a little bit more. Like I feel like you've been pretty busy.
Yeah, I've definitely been busy.
So
Just planning stuff. And there's a lot of things going on in the church, which is all really good things.
Yeah.
But it just means strategic planning for the future and having the right meetings, conversations, which keeps me busy.
yeah. But yeah, I feel like it's cool. I talked in a podcast. I don't even know that I told you this, but I had a couple that was on the podcast that were really awesome. I told you about them, Alex and Britt Hall from Chasing Sunset. So that was a couple of weeks ago. And we were talking
Alex and Britt.
and they live in Michigan. I was telling them that next time they're on, I'm going to have you on too. And we'll do like a little double date podcast because
that
they
would
were
be
so sweet.
fun.
But one of the things we were talking about was like irreducible minimums in busy seasons or not busy seasons, but like continuing to have a date night night. So I feel like that's kind of cool because that's why Zach can say like that life feels the same, even though like you have been really, really busy, but life kind of feels the same in the sense of like we have our irreducible minimums and like we still have date night no matter what. We still do this,
Yeah.
this, and this in our schedule no matter what. And it keeps things like stable, even when like other things around us might not feel stable and things are shifting and changing and growing and all of these like really good changes, but they're changes around us. We're just chilling, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I think we've done a good job of building in good rhythms of life that don't change most of the time. And
Yeah.
makes life a little bit
Kinda
more
cool.
doable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're hoping to buy a house this year. I've told the podcast that. So that's been something that we're like working towards, which is exciting. So hopefully next time Zach is on the podcast, we'll be like, and we're in a house. But we'll see. Maybe I'll just invite you back every week or something. And that won't be the case if that's true.
We'll see. We shall see.
We will see. We're working towards everything, guys. Okay. Anyway, okay, let's get on the topic of photo camp. So,
Okay.
like I said, I don't really have. Oh, I just almost
Wait,
flew my phone
aren't
out.
we supposed to do something first?
Oh yeah, guys.
Oh my goodness. I know her podcast better than she does.
Okay, whenever I have an in-person podcast, I always have to grab my blanket. So I have my editing blanket, but I told Zach that I had to, he had to have a blanket ready, and he said he has a plan. So I'm not really sure what that means, but this is my editing blanket, and I have it on me. What's your plan, Zach?
I don't want an editing blanket. I want the editing lamb. Give me the lamb. This is lambotomy. That's what I'm naming him.
Lambotomy.
Instead of like lobotomy, it's lambotomy.
Okay, if you are not
just came
watching
up
on
with that.
YouTube, you are so confused right now.
100%.
But I
There's
have this little stuffed
little
animal lamb,
Lamb.
and it has like
gonna sit here with me.
perfect. So
and
you don't get a
lambotomy.
blanket. Lambotomy.
Lambotomy. Me and this guy.
But he's so
one of
cute,
the
and he has like a
OGs.
lavender like heating pad in his butt.
What?
It's
Look
true.
at that thing.
Okay. Anyway, it's always a mess when I have on you or like Jaden or whatever. I feel like I'm just like, okay.
We're here to keep you on your toes a little bit.
Okay. All that to say, let's jump in. Let's talk about
Let's
photo camp.
jump in.
So, like I was saying, I don't really have like a full-on structure for this, but I have like some things that we can talk about just to create conversation, and then I feel like we'll just chat from there. You ready to just yap?
I'm ready. I got my yapper ready.
Okay. Well, is there anything that you want to say about photo camp before we start?
Before we start?
I don't know.
Not really. I mean, it was good. I felt like we'll
That's
probably
gonna
get
be
more.
wait, that's gonna be the quote from you. It was good.
It was
Zach
good.
Otto.
What more is there to say, really? I don't know. I feel like we'll talk more about it later, but I did way less on this one than
That's
I did
true.
in all of the past ones.
Yeah, I had a really awesome team around me for this one. And I've always had like really good community helping me.
Yeah.
But I definitely felt it in a different way for this one. Yeah.
Yeah, it was good.
And it made it so that you did less too, which was kind of
know.
nice for you.
I know.
Especially
But
coming back from
always,
Atlanta.
it was so much fun hanging out with all the people.
Yeah.
Meeting the campers, hanging out with all the speakers and the volunteers.
Our friends.
Our friends. Literally, it's just
The
that.
volunteers.
The volunteers, the day makers,
my
the
goodness.
camper counselors.
The camp counselors. That's what I called them this
Yeah,
year.
the
For some of them were
counselors.
camp counselors.
Yeah,
I
they
thought
were
it was
great.
fun.
They were great.
Okay, well, let's talk about this. My first thing that I had was favorite moments from the weekend. So I honestly haven't even thought about this myself. So I feel like this whole podcast is just us processing here, like in our recap meeting right now of photo camp. So, okay, favorite moments.
Favorite moments from the weekend.
Or we could say like our favorite shoot. Is that easier for you to think about, like compartmentalized?
No, definitely
not at all.
not.
Zach's like, I don't even know what the shoots were.
What were the?
Zach
I couldn't
was just
tell you
there.
the name of
No.
any of the shoots. I
Zach was just there
promise you.
hanging out with people.
I was just there hanging out with people, having a good time. That's like my job when I'm there. Is like Alex tells me what to do and I do it.
True.
And I'm like, I'm just carrying crap around.
No, honestly, that is true. I'm
just
like
carrying all the crap.
Let's use the man muscles, you know? Zach's first role of the weekend was luggage carrier. Him and our friend Jarrett, they were
Yep.
the luggage carriers.
Yep.
And the houses, we had 2 houses for campers. And then we had another 2 houses, one that we used for like my team and the hair and makeup team. And then the other one was for the speakers. and none of them had like elevators or anything, but they're on these like, what do you call those, stilts, right? Like beach stilts,
yeah.
the houses. So they're like a ton of stairs for all of them. And so I was like, okay, we need luggage carriers because all of these campers should just be able to walk
Jarrett
in and
I
be
just
like,
got a workout in.
yeah, you did.
It was good.
But it was great.
Good.
And all the campers felt so loved because of it. So thanks.
No, yeah, and that was cool.
Yeah.
Like that was a fun first thing that we got to do.
Yeah.
It was just like see all the campers, help them bring in their stuff.
True.
And whenever they first come in, like they're always so psyched.
Yeah.
They're so psyched.
But they're
to be
also like
there.
nervous too. So I think it's cool to have like Zach as like one of the first people that they meet. And then like if I'm walking someone or whatever, knowing that Zach is going to be there and having like intentional people there who are just like happy faces and friendly and make them feel welcome. Because like I just know like what it feels like to walk into a place where like you're brand new, you don't know anyone. A lot of them are traveling from out of state, from across the country. They're so nervous to come, you know, like I would
yeah.
be. So having like you there where it's just like you make people feel comfortable from the beginning, you know, I think that's
Well, I think that's that's what partly sets photo camp apart. I think I've never been to any other any other thing, but I think we do a really good job of making it very hospitable for the people who are coming in.
Yeah,
so
that's the goal.
So yeah, it's like we're meeting them where they're at. We're hanging. We're having fun. We have loud music going. All of this stuff. Like it's not you're just walking into.
You're coming into camp.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah. Well,
it truly
we
feels like
want
camp.
That feel
Yeah,
to it. So
like summer
I think
camp.
we accomplished that.
I think
for
so
sure.
too. Okay, so back to our favorite moments because we never actually answered that. I feel like there's so many. It's like hard to think about. Oh man.
Well, for me, one of my favorite moments was listening to you speak.
Aw.
It was good. It was good.
That's just because you're my husband.
No, I honestly, I feel like you did a great job. I think I'm naturally a little bit critical of it when people are speaking, and maybe that's just probably the years of doing production and worship and stuff in church. But I think you killed it. I think all the speakers really killed it this year.
Yeah, they did.
But you did especially well.
Thank you, Zachary.
Especially well.
Yeah, I really actually that was one of my favorites was like learning from the speakers too. I thought it was really cool. I was like back there taking notes too and you know, really thinking through it and I really did like find that, especially one of our friends, Danielle, who spoke, Danielle Hickman. She's at Danielle Photog on Instagram. She makes really
Shout
funny
out,
reels. Shout out to Danielle. But hers was
She's
all
a
about
legend.
hers was all about taxes and like having an
I loved
LLC
that
or like
one.
whatever. So that was just really good. And she was the one who like started it. So it's like we were starting from like business basics. And then I feel like we kind of built up into like more and more and more throughout the weekend with the speakers. So
Yeah,
that was just really cool. I really loved Friday as a whole. Friday's the day that the day passers come to. And I thought that I would say like Friday as a whole was my favorite
that was
moment.
fun.
Like if I had to pick one because
Yeah.
everyone was there and I just love people and for things to feel fun and for it to feel like lively and like a party. And I feel like all day Friday because all the day passers are there, that's what it felt like. Like everyone was there.
That's true.
you know?
Everybody showed up, and there was just so much energy in the room.
Yeah. I just think that's so fun. So I think it's cool too to watch like people who maybe are a little bit more on the shy side or they were nervous coming or whatever. By Friday, people are warmed up and then they are like in charge of making sure that the day passers feel welcome. And you see that, you know?
Yeah.
And like when the day passers got there, it was breakfast and they walked into like the hustle and bustle of like the food, what we called the food cabin. And like they went in there and like everyone was saying hi to them and stuff. And it just felt like lively and energetic and it felt like welcoming and like it truly is like a community of photographers coming together, not people in competition or anything like that, you know?
Oh yeah,
It was
people are
special.
just there to have fun, hang
Yeah.
out, like meet other people in the same field. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
pretty cool. What it's fun for me, it's like I'm not in this field at all. You know what
True.
I mean?
No,
like I'm
that
totally
actually is true.
outside of this world.
Yeah, I actually had a couple of, so like pretty much every other, so this is my third photo camp. My first and second photo camp, I had people who were photographers helping me too, you know, like whether that was the speakers or what we had was like timer assistants, and a lot of them were in creative fields. And obviously I had some of the models helping. They're not photographers, but they're in like the creative industry around and stuff like that, you know? And I feel like that was the case for the first two. For this one, I had like 2 camp counselors and then Zach and then some other people helping that are not in the creative industry at all, but they were just there to like serve on, like love on and serve the campers. That was really cool. Like to me, that actually was one of my favorite things from this one that I don't want to change is having people who like actually maybe don't understand the creative industry, but are there just there as people to love on other people. And
they killed it too.
They crushed it. Yeah. And I feel like all of the campers really like appreciated the conversations that they brought and just like how they were there to serve. And I called them like hype men too, because we do like team comps at the end of the day. And they really did bring the hype.
They were something. They were hype, you know?
They were hype.
They
we did
brought
like
something.
For the team comps, we did this like team cheer thing the first night. And it was like the blue team, the pink team, and the orange team. And they all had to like cheer for their team or whatever. And that was like the group that they were in for the shoots that night. And like, I will never forget Cheyenne, who's like she was a camp counselor.
She's
not
before my L before my U before my E.
That was her rap. And they said blue SA, blue SA. And it was so funny.
Epic.
Honestly, I need to post that reel. I think like my videographer Drew, I think he got like a
that's going to stick with me forever.
Forever.
I mean, 100%.
And she's not even a photographer, but she was there leading the blue team, you know?
Yep.
So it was just really, really cool. I loved that. But what did you do?
I'm moving it away. You're clipping a little bit.
Guys, I was talking too loud. I'm sorry. This is why we have Zach here. Anyway.
This is my job. My one job.
One job. Okay, so let's talk about like things maybe that were like unexpected. So anything unexpected that happened?
Yes. Yes, a few things.
Okay. I also asked on Instagram. So while you're talking, I'm going to look and see like my Instagram group chat for photo camp. I asked them too to see what they said. Okay. I have 3 things from them.
3 things?
3 things.
Okay, let's
Should we talk about them?
Yeah.
Okay. The first one was ... the fog.
The fog.
This was
actually crazy.
No, this is crazy. Is this what you were going to say?
Yeah, this is
I figured. Because this really was unexpected, guys.
Yeah.
So the day for Friday, the weather all day was supposed to be cloudy. Okay. That's like originally what the weather said. Then it ended up being so hot, so sunny. It was a beautiful day. It was perfect for our day shoots. Like, it was absolutely perfect. Then we go to Zach, stop fixing my mic.
When you were practicing earlier, you were sitting so far, like so much farther back, and now you're all up on it.
Do you want me to sit here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys, if I got loud and now I'm quiet and I don't know.
There you go.
See,
right there.
I can't invite you because you always just move my mic around.
Listen, this is for you viewers out there, okay?
Zach just cares about the production, and I'm like, guys, let's just chat and hang out, okay?
I know. Okay, so so it was
supposed to be cloudy all day.
Yeah.
Ended up being so sunny, so beautiful all day. The day shoots were perfect. Then we go I think I taught that night, and then we went to the beach for our last part, and it was nuts because it was still sunny and everything. Everything was fine, and then for whatever reason,
wait. Let me talk about it. Let me say.
Why? Am I saying it wrong?
No. I just want to say it from my perspective.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
All right, so we're sitting there. The setting is this. We just walked down the path. We're over on Folly, and we're over by the lighthouse. And so you walk out, and it's this beautiful landscape. You're seeing the lighthouse off to the left, and all of the campers go off. And it was my job to watch everybody's stuff, you know? So I'm just sitting there, and it was actually just me and Megan. And we're like sitting there looking out at the lighthouse, and it looked like there was this like billows of smoke behind it.
So at first, when everyone saw that from our perspective, it was just you and Megan. We thought it was fire too. So me and the campers are looking and we're like, is something on fire? Like, what the heck? And it looks like this almost line. You know how sometimes like you look out on a horizon and there's clouds and it kind of looks like the mountains almost? Like that's kind of what it looked like, but it was black.
Yeah. It was almost like if you've ever seen the movie Poseidon.
What?
Have you ever seen the movie Poseidon?
No.
They're like looking out and they're like, oh, like, what is that? Is that a cloud? And they're like, no, that's a wave. And then the wave comes and it hits the ship, and it was terrifying.
That is kind of what it's like.
And I'm like,
because we all thought it was smoke, and then
it got
from
closer.
No.
Closer.
It was from that moment within, I would say, 10 minutes.
Yeah.
It came to us. Would you agree?
Yeah. So within 10 minutes, we're sitting there. I mean, it's coming quick.
It's sunny and hot. Everyone's in t-shirts and shorts.
Yeah. You can see it coming at you. And then all of a sudden, the lighthouse, which you could see so clearly, just disappears.
You can't see it at all.
You literally can't see it at all. And we're like, oh my gosh, what's happening? And then it's coming, and it like hits. And it's just fog.
It's like misty fog, completely white everywhere. Hard to see anything.
It's like, what was that one movie? Is it called like The Fog or something?
I don't know. You
it's
keep
like
talking about all these movies,
movies,
but I don't know movies like that.
The Mist is what it's called.
Oh, well, that's
and
exactly what it was.
And there was aliens in The Mist, and that's exactly it. Like,
it was crazy.
Alex made the comment that it's like, oh man, I thought the Dementors were going to come out.
If anyone's like a Harry Potter fan.
The Dementors
were there.
They came out because it did drop like 15 degrees.
Yes. So it was
everything
like
we
were
wet.
hot and like not sweating, but it was like perfect weather, sunny outside. And then literally it was freezing. And like, I mean, our hair was soaked, like absolutely soaked. The model's hair was soaked. Like it was crazy.
It got wild.
But it was so cool for the shoots.
Yeah,
and especially
sick.
one, like, so one of them I was honestly a little bit disappointed because like the whole point of the shoot was that it was called Sunset Glow. And she had like the makeup artist Chelsea had done like glitter on her, and like it was a really cool dress for it. And it was just supposed to be more like not quite shimmery, but like the sun to be on her and her to feel glowy and almost dewy. And then the white comes and it's just like not that at all, but it looked really, really cool. So I'm not like too disappointed, even though it wasn't the vision. But there was one that I had that was like this couple that were like very model-esque, very editorial, and they were in suits. And I was kind of like nervous doing it at the same time as Sunset Glow because it would have been a cool shoot with like the sun and everything too. But a lot of my inspo pictures on the mood board had fog and everything. So it like hit for that shoot and it was perfect. It was so cool. Perfect. But then we also had one that was a couple shoot with Max and Amani, and they were supposed to fly a kite, and it looked cool. Like it definitely like looked awesome, but the kite was white. Yeah. So it just like blended into the fog. So some photographers got it and it was really cool, but we ended up like ending that shoot early because everyone was like, okay, I got my shots. I'm soaking wet. And we definitely had like gear.
Everybody was freezing.
Everyone was really cold. Yeah.
Absolutely.
But the gear
freezing.
was like crazy too. It definitely like taught all of us so much as photographers though, because it was like, okay, 1 minute the weather's like this, the next minute the weather is like this. And we have to adapt and change and shift and know how to really quickly get our shots. And then even know how to like get the mist that came on our lens off and protect our gear in those moments too. So like, it was really cool how like all of us rallied together and like got the shots that we needed and everything. Even in the midst of like, adversary from the weather. Anyway, you're just letting me sit in my awkwardness of saying that.
Yes.
You like didn't respond.
I'm just letting it happen. Adversity. Adversity is the word.
Not
you're
adversary.
looking for.
Adversity. Okay. Whatever.
Adversary. Adversity. I'm here just to call you out.
The midst. Wait. In the midst of the mist.
Midst of the mist.
Yes. Anyway. Okay. So
That's
that was
going to be
unexpected.
the title of this.
In the midst of the mist.
In the midst
that
of
sounds
the
like a
mist.
horror movie.
It does.
That's kind of what it felt like, honestly, though. It was so cool for the shoots, but it was also like, what the heck just happened? Like, I've never seen that before that quickly.
No, it was crazy.
That was wild.
Even scared lambotomi too. He was there.
All right.
Comment below. We love lambotomi. Comment below. Do that. I'm taking over this podcast.
I cannot.
JK.
I don't even know how to spell lambotomy.
They'll figure it out. Y'all got it. Y'all got it.
Spam the comments below.
Spam the comments below.
We love lambotomy.
What? Come on.
Okay, so another unexpected moment. Here was one that they said too. Somebody said that the sunrise was really pretty amazing on the last morning. And that is true. I wouldn't say that that's
insane.
Like fully unexpected because we went for the sunrise shoot, but it really was like so beautiful.
Yeah, and that was a cool shoot. I mean, it was like a surf shoot. You had the surfboard out there. Our friend Amanda was out there modeling. Mm-hmm. It was cool.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah.
And it was cool too. We got some like silhouette shots. I need to edit those because I want to post those soon, especially with like summer coming up. So you guys will see it. If you weren't at photo camp, you'll see it soon on my Instagram.
Yeah, I think I saw some dolphins that morning.
Yeah.
There was some random dude in the background.
Really?
Yeah, he was like out in the water, and I thought it was a surfer, but he was just out there with a like bodyboard for.
Oh, I saw that. It was like far away.
No, I mean he was drifting down in front of you. Yeah. I was like, "What's this bro
I thought
doing?"
he was a surfer too. I didn't realize. I was so focused on the shoot. You know,
just out there with the bodyboard.
That's crazy.
But it was cool.
Yeah. Something else we did on the beach. I feel like I need to like revamp how we did this, but I really liked the idea of it. That was cool. Is like the groups that we had, like, you know, we had the different team colors and everything. So one of them, while they were shooting, the other group was doing like team reflection and like chatting about what they learned that weekend, what stood out to them, what their takeaway is and stuff. Cause that was the last day of photo camp. And I think that's really cool to just like allow people to think and process, because photo camp is amazing. And I suggest it to literally everyone because it's my favorite time of it's like my favorite part of my job, honestly, and I love it. But sometimes it can feel like a fire hydrant, you know, of like learning and being creative and like just it's a lot, you know, and it's exciting, but it's a lot. So I feel like having that time of reflection is cool too, to begin to like soak in what you learned, you know.
Yeah, and there were I feel like a lot of campers who had just like really deep moments while they were there.
True.
Like people who just reflecting on the things they were learning, or just being out in the beauty of nature.
Yeah.
All of that kind of stuff, like being down on the beach during sunrise.
Yeah.
You can't help but to think about those types of things. There was one person who literally gave her life to Jesus like that morning, which is crazy.
It was like during the sunrise shoot.
Yeah,
and I look over and her and some other people from the camp, they're like praying together. And I was like, oh, that's so sweet. It was literally her being like, yes, I want to follow Jesus. And like having a moment where she was like praying to God about that. Yeah, that was so cool.
It was awesome.
I know.
Absolutely amazing.
That was crazy. Yep. And that is unexpected. You know what I mean? Because like unexpected. We're not doing photo camp and having like the speakers, you know, come up there and be like, and this is our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. You know, like that's not what we do. But if you guys listen to the podcast, you know, Zach and I do lead a church and we love Jesus a lot. And like, we can't help but talk about him because he's such a big part of our lives. But like, again, that's not like, you know, it's not something we like actively talk all about at photo camp or something. It was just really cool that like God used photo camp in that way for her life. And and lots of other like really cool, deep conversations that we got to hear about or got to have ourselves. So that I think was unexpected. And it was cool that God
definitely
did that, you know?
Definitely.
That was really cool. I'm glad you brought that up. Okay, the other one, this is the last one. Unexpected things. So we have to set the stage, okay? First day of photo camp, we have some friends who, I don't know why we have some friends, or why I said we have some friends. You guys have met them. It's Cassidy Lynn. She's been on the podcast like twice now. And you guys probably listen to her podcast. And then her husband, Charlie. And they have spoken at the last 2 photo camps. So this was their first photo camp that they weren't at. And they were on a road trip. They like ended up like not being able to make it because we were like, even if you're not speaking, you should just come and hang out. But they were on their anniversary road trip. Whatever,
Charlie and Cassidy.
So they're so sweet. And like had flowers delivered for me on the first day, which is like the sweetest, kindest like friend moment ever. Just like so kind. And they were beautiful, guys, like these flowers. And I was like, oh my gosh, we should use them for one of our shoots. One of the shoots was like in the kitchen. It was called Kitchen Cuties. And it was like this cute couple. Fun fact, the couple was on Outer Banks.
True.
Very true. Yes.
Yeah, they were cool.
Yeah, they were so cool. Anyway, they're just like super cute, and they were like baking cookies in the kitchen, and like everyone loved that shoot. And I was like, the flowers will be perfect for that. It just like adds something to it. So they had given it to me in a vase. It was like beautiful flowers. I put it in the kitchen, and the first rotation of that shoot, the first group is going, and literally the photographer steps up and she's like, okay, it's my time to pose. Why don't you guys like sit on the counter? You know, like you would normally sit on a kitchen counter, like completely normal.
Yep.
And they jump up on the counter. Guys, the counter was not glued down in this like luxury house that I've rented. Okay. It pops up. The flowers fly off and crash, glass everywhere on the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Luckily, nobody was hurt.
Nobody was hurt.
But
the models didn't fall or anything.
Yeah. It did kind of mess up the sink a little bit. It happens.
Yeah, it's fine. We talked to the Airbnb about it because people should be like, you should be able to lean on the counter without that happening.
Yeah.
So it's fine. But thankfully nobody was hurt, and we don't need to sue anyone, and nobody needs to sue us.
Facts.
But it was crazy. That was unexpected. So there is a video of it. I feel like I need to wait a little bit longer.
The video isn't as bad as what people made it seem to be.
Okay, that is so true. I'm actually glad that someone took a video of it because the rumor that I heard somehow, because I wasn't there for it, but the rumor that I heard somehow is like the models hit the floor and I was
bodies hit the floor.
I was
Bodies
like,
hit the ground.
Gosh. So I went to them and I'm like, are you guys okay? Cracked. Like, let me make sure. Like, whatever. No, it was just the flowers.
Just the flowers fell.
But
that's it.
Anyway, but it was funny that like Charlie and Cassidy went out of their way to have flowers delivered and then like
just for us to break them all.
It's fine. But I sent Cassidy the video and she's like, oh my gosh, that's the funniest video I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah,
so
it was crazy.
I feel like that was unexpected. Okay. What else should we talk about, Zachary?
House moms. We had house moms.
Yes, my mom and my stepmom. So my mom has come for the last two, but my stepmom came as well, and they did it together.
It was fun.
It's kind of funny. Both of their names are Heather, so that just like adds a whole nother dynamic.
What was it that they would house mom?
Yeah, they said house mom check in, and then all the campers would say what?
What? Yeah,
it was so cringy, but they loved it.
It fit them.
It did. It fit the house moms.
Fit the moment.
But I am so thankful for them. They really are amazing. And they were so great at hospitality for our campers and like loving on them.
Yeah,
and
they were
making sure
incredible.
there was enough food to go around and snacks and just literally everything. And I got them cute aprons that said house mom. It was so cute. But that was
another
awesome.
unexpected thing.
Okay.
Megan got sick.
Oh, yeah.
Are we allowed to talk about that?
I mean, I guess. I feel like all of our unexpected things are like negative. Guys, photo camp is awesome.
No, it was great.
I promise.
Things just happen, Things happen.
It's kind of fun. This is like the true behind the scenes.
The pollen decided to
Yeah,
pollinate.
we hadn't had pollen really much at all until that
weekend.
Yeah.
And it destroyed Megan.
Yeah, Megan was out.
It was brutal.
She was struggling.
Yeah.
But she's okay now. Everything is fine.
She made it out alive.
Yeah. She made it out alive. I cannot with you. Okay. I don't know. What else should we talk about?
What else is on your list?
I don't know. They're all things I feel like we've talked about already.
Really?
Yeah, like what didn't go as planned and how we adapted. But I feel like we already did that.
What were your favorite shoots?
Okay.
I didn't ask you that.
Yeah. Well, I think so because I mainly do seniors, the candy shop shoot that we did, we called it Sweet Senior. That one for me was like perfect. And I had one of my seniors, her name is Kylie. She's so cute. She's a senior this year. I had her model for it. And we did, my friend Shauna, who's been on the podcast a while ago, is a bridal dress designer, but she has like this cute, like mini gown, kind of like a homecoming feel. And it's like pink. And then we had some like cute roller skates for her. She was licking a lollipop. That was so much fun. So
that one was cool.
I think I'm about to post about it. So by the time this podcast comes out, I'll have posted about it and you'll like totally know what I'm talking about. But it looked really cute. And it was in this candy shop who collaborated with us on Folly Beach. And that was awesome. So I think that one was like definitely a top favorite for me. Oh, I don't know. I love them all. I loved the one that we had with the vintage Land Rover. That was really cool. And I had like a basket that they were holding of vegetables. And all the campers are kind of rolling their eyes at me because I'm like, there's a basket of veggies. I don't know why, but that really like my creative heart like swelled up for that. Like instead of flowers, having vegetables. And there's like cabbage falling out and carrots with cool stems on it. Like, I don't know. It was just fun.
It was cool looking.
It was just cool looking
I
with
wanted
the
to
like
cook me up
with the
a
vintage
stew.
Rover. I cannot.
Give me a stew going.
A stew. But yeah, that was really cute. And one of the models had like a cool hat on with like, they were wearing like, one of them was wearing like a pajama set. And then the other one was wearing like a long dress, but it looked like I don't know, they just coordinated really well. I felt like that one was like perfectly my vision, like exactly what I was thinking. So I would say like all of them pretty much hit like exactly what I was envisioning. So that is like a really special thing too, because sometimes you host these things and I do 10 styled shoots, one of them might, I don't know about that one as much, but like this one I really felt like I had a coordinator for this one and that really shifted a lot for me. That was really helpful throughout the weekend. And I just feel like it was the best photo camp yet. I've loved every photo camp, but this one was the best one yet.
Yeah, it was awesome. Yeah. Even though I feel like I really didn't have a job on this one. That was different.
But that's kind of cool, because it's like
super
that's
nice.
how much photo camp has been built up since the beginning. Because in the first one, guys, I had Zach running around.
I was doing a bunch of stuff.
This
everything. Time, I literally just showed up and carried crap. It was great.
And sat with the bags.
Yeah, sat with the bags. But she had a lot more people helping out with this one. But you also collaborated a lot more on this one too.
Yeah, it was
Talk
really
about
cool.
that.
Yeah, I've been on a couple different podcasts. I went on Sue Shutterbug's podcast and Cassidy Lynn's podcast to talk about this. But collaborating for these events has been like a game changer for me. And I think it's been cool. I think the first one, people were a little bit more hesitant to collaborate because I didn't have much to show for it. But I feel like I collaborated a little bit more for the October one. And then for March, there was a lot of people and companies who were willing to collaborate. But I said this, one of the campers actually asked this during Q&A time for my session, like how to collaborate with people. And I think it's really important when talking about this topic that if you're going to ask someone to collaborate, you need to be able to trade them something that's like monetarily worth it for them. So like, for example, we had someone who donated pizza for dinner one night and like, that's awesome. It's a local to Folly shop. They're a newer shop. Dude. Apparently it was really good. I'm gluten-free and a lot of other things. And so I was like the only one that couldn't have it, but
I liked it.
But it looks really good. And what I said to them is it's not just, hey, are you willing to do this and be on the tag list? Cause that might not be that important to them. That might not be worth the trade to them. But I said, hey, I'll come another day, do reels and photos for your pizza shop and provide that for you, as well as content of the campers eating it. And to them, they're like, monetarily, that makes sense for a trade, So I feel like sometimes like we want to do like the least amount of work and like have people cater to us, but that's not what collaborations are about. It is like a joint thing. So I just think it's important to state that. But I had so many people that helped and just were like willing to say yes. And like they were joyful about it too. It was really cool.
But yeah, I think that's cool. It's like people are willing to jump in when they like see a vision that somebody's passionate about.
Mm-hmm. No, that's true.
So if there's like a really great vision and you also have a ton of passion for it, it's just way easier to get people to follow.
True. Yeah, that's true. Well, I'm excited because I also announced at the end of photo camp, I like posted my recap on Instagram and everything, but the last slide said, see ya in September.
What's in September?
Photo camp.
Yo.
I know. So literally, I said this in my caption, but like, Zach, I literally told people that March was going to be the only 2025 photo camp.
I know.
But it's not.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. Are you texting?
I'm just, checking things.
I'm like having
this during a work day for me, okay? So like, yes, I am texting.
Zachary, thank you for your time. Thank you for being here for this work meeting.
I'm just making sure nothing's burning down. We're good. We're good.
Anyway, totally didn't mean to lie about March being the only photo camp. I just like...
Well, in the time, we did think it was going to be the only photo camp.
We had had a discussion about it. We're like, this is the only one we're going to do, blah, 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 blah. And then we just decided like, let's do it.
Yeah.
We love photo camp. Like, it's cool because like Zach, doesn't like work for my business or anything like that. But like, doing photo camp is so all hands on deck that it is like a joint decision for us of like when we do it, if we do it, all of that kind of stuff. And like, I love that Zach just like pushes me and encourages me and is like, okay, I see that this is something you enjoy and that you love. Let's make your dream happen. Because that's how we even started the first one. You remember that?
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, I mean, I think as a husband, that's my highlight for it every time we do it. Just seeing Alex do her thing and me being able to be there and support and just do whatever she needs to make it happen. That's always my favorite thing. So seeing all of it come together, seeing her speak into so many different creatives' lives, it's awesome. It definitely fills up my cup as a husband. It's like, man, this is so cool seeing her do the thing that she's passionate about.
Oh, love you.
I got you.
I told you guys he's the best. Anyway, yeah, so I haven't announced this on socials, but because a little bit less of you guys probably listen to the podcast, should we give them the date?
Yeah, let's do it.
Like the
let's do it. Why
date?
not? Why not? Let's go.
It is going to be, mark it down, September 4th through the 6th, 2025.
2025, you heard it first here. Alex Blake Photography.
Yes,
Photo camp.
but I have said this too on Instagram and TikTok, and YouTube, I guess. But photo camp is going to look a little bit different. So there are some changes. We're doing the 4th through the 6th of September 2025, and it's still called photo camp, and it's still for the same people, but there are some unique changes. And I'm excited because these changes are allowing us to make photo camp a little bit more accessible for photographers and affordable for photographers. So I am really pumped. Hopefully we'll have even more amazing photographers that get to come, and then we get to serve and meet and love on and all the things.
100%.
You were texting.
No, I was listening. I heard.
Half listening.
I was half listening.
He's like, okay, I gotta go. All right, guys, we gotta wrap this episode up because Zach's gotta go work.
No, I'm here all day. I'm staying. We're doing this all day. 8-hour episode right now.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, we love you guys so much. Seriously, thank you for listening to the podcast. If you haven't already, please subscribe, please rate, leave a review. I love to get to read the reviews. They're really fun to read.
Comment about lambotomy.
Oh, yeah.
The best.
We love lambotomy comment.
Lambotomy all day. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah. I'm glad that you came. Thanks for carving out the time last minute when I was like, Zach, will you be on my podcast?
I'm happy to be here. Happy to be here.
Okay. We love you guys, and I will see you guys next Thursday. Bye.